Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, April 12th edition of the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, joined by the big man there, Mr. Marcel. What's going on, big man?
Hi, what's up, man? Good to be back. New week, new fights, new reviews, new recaps, new previews. So,
yeah, no, for sure. We're going to do like all of them today. We're going to do Vegas, the recap. That was the card. Marvin Vettori, Kevin Holland, great card. And then Bellator as well. And there's some news and stuff, like Conor McGregor's in the news. You wanted to start with Bellator? I mean, like while people are showing up, let's just start with Bellator. I think people would rather hear us talk about the UFC when there's more people here. So let's talk about Bellator first, Marcel. Took place Friday night. Did you watch the card?
I watched a few fights, and after that, I've watched the highlights, what I saw, because it's too late for me, man. I have to work the day after. So
totally understandable, man. Yeah, no, totally understandable. We're lucky now that they actually have it on YouTube now for us. I didn't even think we were going to be able to watch it like on legal means, I guess. But I do hate that it's a little bit later on Friday, and I wish it started a little bit earlier. Overall, though, I mean, it was a pretty damn good card, I think. There's on the prelims, there was quite a bit that happened, mostly like decisions. But there was this one guy who got a Japanese necktie, Marcel, Jalen Bates. Did you see that submission? He got a Japanese necktie. We don't see that at the UFC or Bellator level.
I only saw the actual choke, but I haven't seen the whole fight. So
no, being completely honest, I did skip the prelims too. I had a nap after work on Friday, and then I watched the main card. But I did see the Dalton Rosta fight. I said that last week with AJ. I'm like, maybe Tony Johnson can win this fight, but I was wrong about that one. Dalton Rosta is an absolute beast. And then what else on the prelims? This girl Diana Ragova. Here's the thing, though, right? Like, she looks good, Marcel, but the girl she beat is terrible. Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the Bellator matchmaking style now. They match up like good prospects with like fighters that can get destroyed by. You know what I mean? It's like Valerie Loreda's next fight, right? Same thing.
You can rather say they match up hot chicks with girls who cannot fight that great. That's what they do. That's politically incorrect to say, but that's what they do.
Yeah, I like this.
They just want to promote these kind of girls who look good, and they give them some canned feeders. So, she looked good. No disrespect at all to Avsaragova. She looked very good in that fight. But, I mean, Tara Graf also didn't look good against Loreda. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to think about it.
Here's her knockout. You can see it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a vicious knockout.
The girl didn't even put her hands up. I mean, it's a good knockout, but, like, who did she beat? Who is Tara Graf, right? So, but yeah, I mean, you could tell why Bellator's high in this girl. I mean, she's obviously really good looking, and can she fight? I guess. I mean, based on what we saw, but I don't know, Marcel. I gotta be honest. Like fighters like her and like Valerie, like I'm just not convinced that they're like really that great of fighters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of. I think you're with me on that one too. Anyways, let's get to the rest of this card here. It was a damn good card, like I said, man. Did you see the Dan Moret fight with Gotti and Mochi? Did you watch the fight?
I did. Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah.
And what did you think, man?
I think it was close, man. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't upset with the decision, to be honest, man. I think I could have gone both ways. I thought. I mean, listen, man. Yamochi is very popular with the Bellator fans, you know. So he's kind of if he's in a close decision, people are gonna be pissed, you know.
And people lost money too on this fight. I mean, it's not like I predicted the upset here. I was telling you guys last Thursday with AJ. I'm like, Yamauchi's a guy that we want to trust with our money. He always wins. I was wrong. Mm-hmm. I think that Moret won the fight. I honestly do. And I didn't have money on him. People were like, oh, you must have had a bet on him. I'm like, why would I have a bet? That's the thing, Marcel. Like, there's no benefit in me saying that, though, guys. If I have a bet and I'm like, oh, this guy got robbed, there's no benefit. There's no point. I just accept it and move on. I'm like, all right, I lost my bet. Move on to the next one. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's math, man. It's like, did you win or did you lose? And on this one, you know, I made a bad pick. I thought Moret won in the first and third round. You know, the first round, here's the thing. Like, he got knocked down really early, Yamauchi, right? And then he had this back control thing, but he didn't even try a submission with it. He just had control. So I actually think it's a pretty good scorecard. John McCarthy was pissed. I heard you heard it, Marcel. He was really angry about it. I'm not sure what to think about John McCarthy. I mean, because to me, he's like obviously the guy who wrote the rule book, which is the crazy thing. And I'm not going to be like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to judge a fight when he's the one who wrote it. But at the same time, like, he's very like during this fight, he like basically was saying it was a robbery. There's no robbery in this fight, man. I mean, it was a super close fight. Could have went either way. If you guys lost in Melchi, it happens, man. It's one of these things where we try not to bet on big chalk, and this can burn us sometimes, right? I thought he probably won. I mean, he could have won the fight, but I thought Moret actually edged it out. What were you gonna say?
Man, John McCarthy should have stick with officiating, man, to be honest. I mean, I don't think he's a great commentator at all, and I probably get some shit for that, but I don't care. He's, in my opinion, very biased all the time, man.
He's pretty biased. I mean, I don't have a problem with John. Like, I did have an issue with him a few months ago on Twitter. You guys probably saw that about some article I wrote. We talked about it on DMs. I haven't talked to him since. I have a lot of respect for him because he's obviously he's one of the OGs of the game, right? But I liked him better as a ref and a commentator, man. He's kind of like he's very opinionated. And that's what they're going for, him and Josh Thompson. That's great. That's how you get people to watch your show. They're doing a great job of it. They got a lot more viewers than us, so they clearly know what they're doing. But I just think he gets very fixated on one fighter sometimes and ignores what the other guy's doing. What are you going to say?
The problem is he sells his opinion as a fact. You know what I mean? And sometimes his opinion is just not right. You know, and
I agree.
Sometimes I also have an opinion what is not right, but I don't sell it as a fact. You know, it just says my opinion. Yeah, but that's something that bothers me.
It's scary too because if you're a fan, right, you're watching, you're listening to the commentary, and John McCarthy saying this fight is clearly in this guy's favor. I think he scored at 30-27, which is crazy to me. A lot of people gave Yamauchi the third round. I don't agree with that at all. It came out of the first round, right?
He scored Musashi for Machida.
I remember that too. Listen,
what the hell?
Yeah, like we're all going to make bad scorecards. I've had bad scorecards too. I've been on MMA decisions since like 2012 or 13. There's some bad scorecards I wish I could have back on there. There's no doubt about it. But, in general, I'm not one of these people that it's like, if it's a close fight, calling robbery. You know what I mean, Marcel? Like, there's robberies like Diego Sanchez and Ross Pearson. That's a robbery. I thought Manel Cape was a robbery when every media, like 30 media members had it for him and 0 for Nicola. I think that was a robbery. But this fight, no, it's not a robbery, guys. It's unfortunate that people lost their parlays. It sucks, trust me, but it happens.
Yeah,
we're gonna say.
But that bothers me as well, man. I mean, if you have a parlay or you have a bet on somebody, don't try to make him look like he won. If you think he won, if it's a close fight, you can't call robbery because you bet. But there are many people who do that, man. Also, when, for example, I give you the Vettori against Holland fight. The first round was very close, in my opinion, but I favored Vettori in that round. Some people did Holland, okay, but then I got virtually attacked by everybody. It's like, no, it's a clear 10-9 round for Holland. It's like, it's not a clear 10-9 round, and it's just my opinion. I don't say my opinion is correct, but it's my opinion. It's what I've watched, so that's what I think. And I'm not gonna score based on who I want to win. I score on based on what I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. I'm watching the fights, and it's like there's no point, guys. Seriously, there's no point for me to be like this guy won just so I could say, oh, my bet should have cashed. There's no, I'm not gonna do that. There's no point. So when I watch fights, I ignore everything that happened before the fight. I'm watching the 5 minutes, and I judge it by each round. There's no evening up and stuff. It's just like, who won the 5 minutes? Who won the 5 minutes? Who won the 5 minutes? In this case, I did think Barrett won the fight. A lot of people disagree. They called me an idiot, no worries. But I just think a lot of people listen to John McCarthy's commentary as like gospel. It's his opinion, guys. Yes, he's a ref and a judge. He's great. But you have to remember, he's also commentating the fight while he's judging, right? Like, they should have someone. Remember Eddie Bravo back in the day in the UFC? Yeah. He just judged the fight. You'd have it between round. Eddie, who do you think won the round? They should get that back in the UFC and Bellator. Have someone quickly between the rounds. Who do you think won the round? What did you score the round? Like even if it's like Trevor Whitman that's doing it or something, But someone that's good at judging fights and that they pay a decent amount of money so they actually take the job seriously. So that's just my opinion. I think judges in general, like, how much are these judges getting paid, Marcel? Maybe they're getting paid $1,000 a night. I heard it was like $1,000 a night. That's what I've heard from a judge and a ref. He judged. He reffed that card, Gustafsson and Jones in Toronto. I think he judged 3 fights on that card and refereed one, or maybe he just judged them. Anyways, he's a friend of mine. And he told me he made $1,000 for that card. Marcel. Like, I don't know if it's different pay in the States versus US or versus commission, but I just think in general these guys probably don't get paid a lot of money, and they should, because there's so much money on the line, guys' careers on the line. So. Anyways, it was a close fight. Just getting to the rest of these fights on the card. Katzengano defeats Olivia Parker. I mean, that was an absolute joke of a fight. We all knew she'd win that. And then Adam Borch, my boy, the other Adam, beats Jamie Kennedy. I did call that one, which was good. And then Liz Carmouche beats Vespor. I think we all thought that would happen. Same with Ryan Bader Machida. I'll give Machida some credit, though. I mean, he looked pretty good in the first 5 minutes, right? Like, he looked very good. But after that, just got tired, beat up. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And by the way, that was, in my opinion, in that bracket, the most fight I did not look forward to in that quarterfinal
Yeah,
in this quarterfinal matchup. So, I mean, I expected Baylor to win. Baylor won. So, yeah, I mean, I want to be honest. You said it was a good card. I know it was an okay card, but it wasn't spectacular or anything. There were some spectacular things, like we say, the Japanese necktie, the
that was
KO from
sick.
Asaragova, you know. But all the others were like, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
also
wasn't
the
the
main
best
card.
card.
It,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
with you.
pretty much expected. Almost every main card fight besides maybe the opener, the Borch against Kennedy fight. I think that was on paper the best fight probably.
Yeah, great
I
fight.
mean, yeah, but all the others, I expected Beta to win. I expected Carmouche to win. I expected Zingano to win. So, I mean, there was not no big surprises for me at all.
Just Moret. I mean, he was kind of a surprise.
Yeah,
He was a
but we know,
big
but we
underdog.
knew he's a decent fighter.
Yeah, he was in the UFC. He's not like terrible.
Yeah.
He's not a bum or anything. Yeah, I'm with you on
Mm-hmm.
that. Like, it's not like he didn't have a chance in the fight.
Yeah.
The Borch. What do you think of Borch? This guy Adam Borch, man. I really think that this guy is super legit. And I told you guys last week, I'm like, when I saw he trains at Sanford MMA, he was an automatic play for me, And same with Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader's got the Sanford logo on his shorts, Marcel. People are telling me that he doesn't train there, but he is on their website. He's listed on their roster. So I'm not sure, because I thought he had his own camp, like 8-man strong or whatever, but whatever it's called. He had Power MMA, I think it used to be called. I'm not sure exactly. It was like him, CB Dollaway, Aaron Simpson, all these wrestlers, right? I think Cain Velasquez did some training with those guys. But, dude, he had Sanford on his shorts. That roster, hold on, I'm going to pull this up here, guys. This roster, Adam Borch is on the team too, and I love this. I really like this kid, Marcel. I don't know how high you are on him. I think he could be a champion. I really do. I think he's that good. What do you think?
Yeah, man, he's still young. He looked good so far in Bellator. He had only one loss. I think it was against Darren Caldwell, right?
Yep.
So he looked good so far, man. I think the Pico fight was difficult as well, but he came back in that one and he won the fight.
Yeah.
So he's a good prospect. He's still young, and the win over Jeremy Kennedy is good, man. I mean, a good decision win over Kennedy. Yeah, looking forward to what's next for him. He's definitely a guy to keep your eyes on, I think.
I'm with you. So let's just go through this roster. Like, look how stacked this team is. Vitor Belfort, Adam Borch, Derek Brunson, Gilbert Burns, Herbert Burns, Michael Chandler. Like, I don't know who this guy is. He's a glory fighter, apparently. Heeman Diop. You probably know him, Marcel?
Yeah, Heeman Diop, yeah.
Yeah, Andre Fiallo, who's, I think, PFL. Marcel Fortuna, former UFC fighter. This guy apparently is a prospect. Garrett Forstick. Look, Jason Jackson, who's a beast. DeMarcus Jackson, I've heard some good things about. Michael Johnson, we know him, obviously. Ong Lenasang, champion, I believe, in one championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, light heavyweight.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler, who's a legend. Lick Lentz, I mean, tough as hell. Not too familiar with this guy, Ange Lusa. He's a Titan FC. I'll have to look into him a little bit. Vicente Luque, they don't have a picture for him. Matt Mitchell. Look at this team, guys. Omar Morales, Steve Mowry, Martin Wynn, who's a one champion fighter. I don't know this guy, Shamil Nikiev. He's in the UFC.
He's Belgian. He's a Bellator fighter.
It says in the UFC lightweight division. Okay, that's wrong.
No, he's a Bellator fighter.
This guy, Mardiev, used to be in the UFC. Victor Pesta used to be in the UFC. Tyler Ray. Danny Roberts used to be in the UFC. Luke Rockhold, obviously. Chas Skelly. Look at this team, Marcel. Logan Storley. George Tacos. Christian Torres. Cal Uruguay. Kamaru Usman. Robin Van Roosmalen. Linton Vassell. I mean, look at this team. Henry Hooft. And then you got Greg Jones, the coaches. All these guys. Ryan Bader right there at the end. I mean, this team is ridiculous, Marcel. Like, this team, guys, you put your money on these fighters, they win. They will win you money. I'm telling you, Marcel, they have something really good going on there. So I don't know what you're thinking about that, maybe like as far as like camp of the year, but I think they're in the front runner right now. Wouldn't you say?
Definitely, man. And by the way, I'm now here. My countryman, huge shout out, Henry Hooft.
Henry Hoof's a beat. I mean, he's one of the best striking coaches in the game. Like, he was at Black Zillions all those years, right? This is like, it was Black Zillions, then it was Hard Knocks MMA or Hard Knocks 365, and now it's Sanford MMA. That's the new team. That's the name. They're sponsored by the Sanford Orthodontic Clinic or whatever. I love this team.
It's also Combat Club in between, right?
Combat Club too, yeah. All those guys have gone through there. Rashad Evans. Rumble Johnson's actually there too. He's not on the, also Marc-Andre Barrios there. He's not on their roster, so they got to update it. But Marcel, look at that roster. I was going through it the other day, and I'm like, damn, I just want to put like money on all these fighters. Like, they always win. You know what I mean? Usman, Chandler, these are winners. Anyways, I think that's enough for Bellator. Anything else on Bellator? Bader, I should mention, is fighting the winner of Corey Anderson and Dalvechan Yaguman. I can't. How do you say his name? Tell me his name.
Dalvechan Yakshimuradov.
Dalvechan Yakshimuradov. And I got to be honest, guys. I started watching tape. I think that was okay. Thanks, Marcel. I started watching tape. This guy's a monster. I mean, I think he might be able to knock out Corey Anderson, so I have to look into him a little bit more. I think everyone kind of expects Corey to like out wrestle him, Marcel, just lay on top of him. This guy's a beast. Like, he sparked Joachim Christensen, the former UFC veteran, and like with a massive punch, just killed him. It was brutal. So this guy has legit power. Again, the competition's the question mark, right? But he's a beast, Marcel. He really is. You know what's crazy? He was actually an underdog for that fight. Can you believe that? Wow. And he was an underdog. He was a plus 130 underdog against Christensen and a plus 350 underdog against Batraz Agneyev. And I'm assuming he beat him because I think he's on a long win streak, right?
Yeah.
Well,
By the way, a small news flash. Yeah, it's not yet a done deal, but looks like June 11, also in Bellator, Douglas Lima will fight Yaroslav Amosov.
We talked about that a little bit last week. Someone had mentioned that. They heard the rumor and they were like, "Oh, it's official." And I didn't see it was official anymore, but it looks like that's going to happen. By the way, so the guy he beat, Yagshimuradov, is a huge underdog. This guy Batraz Agneyev, he was coming off a knockout win over Thiago Silva, so he was a huge favorite in this fight because everyone thought he was amazing because he beat the ghost of Thiago Silva. Man, I remember that guy was the scariest fighter in the UFC for a while. Like, he was freaky with the way he did that neck thing, Marcel.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he fought like Rashad Evans. That was a big card, man. Like, people were hyping him up as a future champ and stuff. Like, or the Machida fight too. I mean, the guy, well, he got knocked out in that fight, but yeah, he was a beast.
UFC 108, I think.
UFC 108, I believe you're right. Yeah, Evan Silva, and then he fought 94 against he knocked out by Machida. There was like the battle of undefeated fighters. And the winner, I think, got a title shot against Shogun. And Machida fought Shogun, and man, that's what happened? Yeah. And I mean, the leg kicks, right? That was the big thing in that fight?
Oh no, Machida won the first by a close decision, and he lost the second one via KO.
That's right. Yeah, in the first one was LA, the second one was in Montreal. Anyways, let's get these comments. We'll talk about the Conor thing, and then I'm going to go into the card with Marcel. Kevin Scott, regarding the Conor nonsense, exactly what I thought DP should have taken the fight instead of chasing this flake. So I'm just confused by this whole situation. I gotta be honest, it's very bizarre. We might as well pull up Dustin's tweets. Let's pull it up just so people can see what they were saying, I guess. But basically, like, Dustin said, I'll pull it up right now. He basically accused McGregor of kind of like going back on the charity donation. Here's what he said: "That's a fun prediction. Vettori said, May, you also predicted a donation to my foundation. You or your team stopped responding." And then he responded back saying that donation, not a debt. We've been awaiting the plans for the money, never came to deal with all my donations. Know where it's going dot for dot. Otherwise, it goes walking. I don't know, man. This is disgusting, I think, honestly, bro. Like, this guy promised money to a charity and he's going back on it. This is really slimy. What else is slimy about this is his manager told MMA Junkie that the money was on the way in January. And if you read the MMA Junkie article, it said Dustin Poirier confirms. He didn't confirm it, though. The title's wrong, because if you read what he said my team's in process of getting the money. He just said we're in the process. Something happened here where, is it because he got knocked out? He was like, I don't want to give this guy the money now. Bro, if you say you're going to give money to charity and you don't do it, you are a scumbag. So I don't know what exactly went on, guys. This could be fake news. For sure, it could be a fake beef thing. But on the surface, if like I said I'm going to give money to charity and I didn't, you guys think I'm an asshole. If Marcel said he's going to give money to charity, you would think he's an asshole. I can't believe how many people have taken Conor's back. They're just blind to the guy. Like, oh, he doesn't know where the money's going. Dustin Poirier has the Good Fight Foundation. We all know where the money's going. And apparently Dustin's saying they won't respond to his emails. So, Marcel, I'm not sure you're thinking, but this is really scummy and slimy in my opinion. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I would love to stay out of it, but yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, it's just that stupid, Also with the Twitter beef all the damn time, I'm so tired of it. If this is a selling thing, it's just stupid, man. This fight sells for itself. You don't have to sell it, so it's just stupid. If that's not, and Conor didn't come up with the money, like Dustin said, yeah, it's disgusting. But I don't expect a lot from Conor. So I mean, what can we say?
Yeah, and like I said, he's, calling him inbred hillbilly. What are you winking through? I don't know. This is weird, man. I don't know what happened here. And he's saying he doesn't want the fight anymore. It's off.
Didn't
they sign the contract? I thought they signed the contract.
Yeah. What do we expect from someone who calls Dennis Seaver a Nazi a few years ago? So, I mean, yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just like here. Hey, Straight Wager, what's going on, man? Such a bad dude. I agree. I mean, I tweeted the same thing today. Like, guys, if I said hey guys, I'm gonna give money to charity, and then I was like, you know what? Can we make sure exactly what dollar for dollar is going to? Like, guys, he's loaded. $500,000 for Conor it's not much.
Yeah.
It's like $1,000 to us probably. You know what I mean, Marcel? Like, it's not much. Yeah, you'd like to know where it's going, but I think it's pretty clear it's going to the Good Fight Foundation, right?
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier is making a lot of money himself. By the way, Conor's manager goes and says, Audio Terry, he goes, come on, Dustin, why are you talking about this, man? We helped get you more money in the negotiating table. Like, that has anything to do with this? That's the fight. That's different. This is a guy saying, I'm going to donate money to charity, and he decided not to do it. That's really slimy.
By the way, it annoys me always the shit out of me that managers come in on Twitter exchanges between fighters, man. Keep out of it, man. Why? What is your? I understand that you're the manager and all kind of thing, but you're not the one that got called out or whatever. Why you come in between? It just
because it's Conor. He doesn't need people to protect him. Like, he's a grown man, guys. He's like a multi. He's probably worth hundreds of millions. I guess. I mean, if I had to guess, he just got bought out of the proper 12 liquor or whatever it was, whiskey, right? He got bought out, Marcel. He made a lot. People, I think there was a report saying he might have got 100 million for that sale. 500,000 is not much for this guy. It's really not. So this is really weird, and he doesn't need people to be his yes man. He's doing it wrong. Honestly, the more I hear Conor talk, the more I want to bet on Dustin in this next fight. Dustin's just a hardworking, really good fighter. Conor is just, he's got these people around him, Marcel, that tell him, you're the best, Conor. You're the man. You're the best. He needs people telling. GSP said this. He said in his interview there, he said, Conor needs to go to another camp or something where the coaches tell him, you're doing this, you're going to bed at this time, you're eating this. He needs that. He doesn't have that structure, bro. He runs his life. He thinks he runs the UFC. I don't know, man. Kevin, yeah. Listen, I'm not saying Conor himself is a scumbag, but I think anyone who does that's a scumbag. Like, anyone who doesn't give money to charity if they said they would is very scummy. So, again, we don't know the whole story, so I'd like to maybe back off the comment a little bit just because I'd like to hear more about this. But on the surface, if you tell someone you're going to donate money to your charity and you don't do it after you told the media that you were in the process of doing it, that is really shady. So, I don't know. That's what I think, guys. I don't think any other journalists are going to tell it like it is, like I am. They're all scared that Conor's going to hate them. I don't really care. I'm telling you guys like it is. I wake up today and see that last night I saw the comment, and then you see his response today. Like, he could have been like, hey, there were some issues, like, well, they had taken care of. Like, and if this is the way they're promoting the fight, this is the worst way they could promote this fight. Like, I just want to see a really good fight, Marcel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about this crap. So I'm not sure what you're thinking.
This fight doesn't need an extra promotion, man.
Yeah. I will tell you this, though. Man, as much as I hate to say it, people are reading it, you know? People are reading this at the website. We have to write about it. I don't want to write about this, but I have to because it's part of my job. But I just think it's weird. It's bizarre, and it's just the way it came out now. You know, it's like it's been 3 months. I mean, I guess Dustin's just fed up. Honestly, I don't blame him, though. You know, there's been a few times where I've had people owe me money, and I want to publicly blast them too. I didn't do it because I don't have a platform Dustin does, but I'm sure it's happened to all of us. Like, someone owed you money, you want to go on Facebook and call him out in front of everyone. You know, in this case, it's not even owing him money. It's the charity. You know, like, this was money that was going to go to help people that are, like, less off than all of us. You know, Marcel, like, It bothers me, bro. This one really bothers me. I got to be honest. Like, this isn't Conor being Conor. This is ridiculous, guys. Like, all right, let's move on. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's just pissing me off too much. I'm saying, like, if I knew anyone, like Marcel, if you told me, hey, I'm going to donate even $100 and you changed your mind, you're like, oh, well, I'd like to know exactly where the $100 is going. I'd be like, why? That's kind of weird, bro. You know what I mean, Marcel?
I'm not even upset, man. I know I've lost faith in Conor like 5 or 6 years ago. So, I mean, you're maybe not at that level that you...
I should be. I should be. I think he is not the same guy anymore, you know? I know he looked good against Cowboy, but, like, what is that?
Yeah, who doesn't lately? Let's be honest. I know the disrespect to Cowboy.
Nico Price had a draw with him, but, I mean, he loses every fight now, right? I mean, Diego Sanchez might beat him, so... I'm just saying, like, this guy really hasn't did much in the last few years. He's obviously rich, guys. Like, we all know that. He's great. Like, he's great. He's great, man. He is great for the sport. We need him in the sport. I'm just saying this particular thing is really – this is almost worse to me, Marcel, than, like, when he punched the guy's phone or something. Like, this is so much worse because you're just being a jerk, in my opinion, you know? Like, his team has so much money, Marcel. They're rich. They don't need this money that bad. Adam C's annoyed by Conor. Marcel is annoyed by Jarvis Daniel. You know what? On the topic with Jarvis, let's recap the card. Okay, so what'd you do in picks? I went 10-3. I had a good week, guys. I had a good week. What'd you do, Marcel? Do you know?
I think it was something like 7 and something. So
yeah, I mean, like there was a couple upsets, obviously. The Dern one I did call. Man, I'm so glad that Straight Wager was the guy last week. He was like, yo, we all like consensus bet, Marcel. You picked her too. We all picked her, Marcel. Plus money. I did put a bet on her, guys. So that was a good bet, right?
Yeah, I watched some other shows as well, and many were on answer of, and Arnold Nunes, I have to say. I was like, okay, weird. For me, stylistically, it was all Dern all the way, and it's probably easy to say right now, but we said it before the fight, so.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's just go through the card from the top to the bottom. But I want to mention that I had a good night for my bets too. It was a good night, guys. Honestly, let's start with Marvin Vettori and Kevin Holland. Yeah, I mean, I think we all expected the fight to go this way. It's just like I didn't want to bet on it because he was 3-1. I knew he was the better fighter, though. I think we all knew that. Kevin's just he doesn't have the strength I think to compete with these guys at 185. 185. I think 170 is in his future. Obviously, he needs to work on his wrestling. He said he's going to go train in American Kickboxing Academy with DC. So I think Cormier can help this guy out. I think Cormier's like kind of take him under his wing a little bit. We all like Kevin Holland, guys, and he's saying now, come on, stop matching with the grapplers, give me strikers. That's fine, Kevin, but you'll never be a champion that way. You will never be a champion in the UFC if you can't wrestle, Marcel. You can't. He can't wrestle. So
also shouldn't work that way.
And that too. But anyways, Marvin looked amazing. I mean, do you think you give him a title shot? You give him the rematch or no?
No. Whitaker should get a title shot
if he wins this fight.
Yeah, for sure. Marvin can fight Paulo Costa, Derek Brunson, or what's his name again? Darren Till. One of those
three. I think the Brunson fight would be okay too. I don't mind. Honestly, I don't mind watching fight again for the belt because I'll tell you that first fight was super close. It really was close. And when I went back and rewatched it in preparation for the Blachowicz fight, I was like, man, this fight is really close. And some of the things I took away from that helped me make the prediction of Blachowicz with the wrestling, right? So I think he's an interesting matchup for Izzy. I mean, I think everyone's going to expect Izzy to destroy him, but I don't know, man. I mean, I think Marvin's a really good fighter. So yeah, if he gets a title shot, that's fine. But you know what? I mean, I agree with you, Whitaker. If he wins his fight this weekend, if he loses to Gastelum, I wouldn't give Gastelum a title shot. I mean, even though that rematch would be amazing, I think I'd give Marvin just based on his wins. But they're both great. And Kevin Holland, yeah, I mean, I think 170. He's supposed to fight Daniel Rodriguez last May, Marcel. I think you even talked about that fight. It didn't happen. He stayed at 185. I believe it beat Anthony Hernandez, and it just stayed at 185. But it's clear he has to go to 170. Thoughts on main event? Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it was clear cut for me that I picked Vettori. I expected him to win with via submission in the third round, but he played it safe. Went for a decision. All good, man. He had 50-45. I think it was 50-44 on many scorecards. So, yeah, it's okay. Pretty much what I expected and what you did as well, probably.
Yeah, I think we all expected it. I mean, it was a dominant performance. Dale says Dern was one of the saving grace. Nice bet, man, by stoppage and straight. Yeah, straight bets are always good. Marcel's ruined Chris Tagley for me. Oh, man, he's just not a great ref. I mean, he's not – I don't know if he's the worst ref. Like, he's not as bad as, like, Mario Yamasaki or someone like that, or Kim Winslow. Remember Kim Winslow, Marcel? She was – yeah. I'm probably forgetting some. Who else is bad? Steve Mazzagatti. Forgot him. Colin Tagg. Yeah, I'm with you. Man, he did get good shots in, and you can definitely take something from that. So I'm with you. I think Izzy would be favored again, obviously, but I think Marvin's really good. Don't sleep on Marvin. He's a good fighter. Co-main event. This is when I told you guys last week, I was like, man, I really want to bet on Sodiq, but there's something telling me not to. I ended up staying away. I did pick him, but I told you guys, Arnold Allen is being overlooked. I should have picked him too. It is what it is. A card that only had a few upsets. This was one that I was looking at. I just ended up not doing it, but man, I mean, it was a close fight, guys, but he's just a bigger, stronger guy. I thought he looked pretty good. He's 8-0 now, Marcel, in the UFC. 8-0.
Yeah, I mean, he did well, but it had, for me, a little bit of feeling of the Jimmy Rivera-Piotr Jan fight, where it was very competitive, and two moments decided the fight pretty much, because I actually thought Sodiq was leading the first and the second round until he got tagged one time he got dropped, and the other time he got tagged.
Yeah.
And that swayed it to Allen because it was that close. So I had 2 10-9s for Allen, last round out for Sodiq, so I had 29-28 for Allen. But those two significant moments were the deciders in that fight, in my opinion.
It was a close fight, but he's really good, you know. What's next? I mean, what do you think? Like, I'm sure you thought about it. What do you think? What are the rankings? Let's pull it up.
It's difficult. I would probably do a Josh Emmett or Calvin Kattar. It depends if Calvin Kattar is ready, and it depends if Josh Emmett can fight again after his injury.
He was number 10.
One of those two.
Yeah. Because and Jeremy Stevens is not in this division anymore, so he'll be dropped out soon.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, it'll have to be one or one of these two guys. I mean, if this guy never fights, then maybe Zabit could just get the fight. Although Allen wouldn't take that. I know. But
I don't think Allen should fight as a beat or a Jair.
I think Emmett makes a lot of sense because he did win his last fight, I believe, right? Against
against Shane Burgos.
It was like fight of the year, fight of the night. Yeah. This fight.
Sick fight.
That was a crazy fight. And I think the next week we had Poirier and Hooker. That was right? We had like the best 2 fights of the year back to back, which is always happens, you know?
I remember telling Shane, be happy you were a week earlier.
I know, he wouldn't have done his 50,000. Yeah. I hear what Marcel's saying, but the key is Alan Wobble used it twice. A lot of guys top 10 wouldn't do this. I agree. You know what, though? I mean, anyone can be knocked out in the sport. You know, his chin held up okay, but he didn't get wobbled. And it just shows Alan, you know, everyone's talking about how he doesn't finish fights. He hasn't fought anyone good. Yeah, but he was destroying these guys. Like, these fights weren't close. The Nick Lentz fight was kind of close, but Nick Lentz was close with Movsarevlov. Do we think Movsarevlov sucks now? He was actually even closer.
Actually, the funny thing is, the fights where he struggled the most, he finished them in the third round fight.
Mads Burnell and Alan Omer. These fights he struggled early, and then he came back and won. I like this kid. I think Arnold Allen's quite good, guys. I really do. All right, next up, Julian Marquez defeats Sam Alvey. I ended up betting on Marquez. Sam Alvey hasn't won a fight in like 5 years, guys. It was an auto fade, and he got destroyed as we expected. This was a passing of the guard. I feel like Julian is almost like what Sam Alvey was 5 years ago, but advanced. You know, when Sam could knock people out, but he can also choke you out. He's got really good submissions. All his wins are by finish, Marcel. I think he's really good, man. I think he's ready for a top 15 guy. I really do. So who's Omari Akhmedov? Who's he fighting next? What's the next fight? Brad Tavares? Yeah, the winner of that fight. That's who he can fight next. Get him in the top 15 guy. What do you think?
I agree, man. And those walkout songs. Sam Alvey had Taylor Swift, and Marquez had Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Funny to me. Man. Marquez did well, you know, as we expected. I had to watch that fight and the Dern Answer fight back because I took a nap during those fights. I had an awful headache on Saturday, so I had to. But it was a good fight with Marquez, as expected. Beautiful rear naked. It was a sort of a bulldog choke, man. Rear naked choke.
He's good, man.
Alvey actually tapped, man, I think, but the ref didn't saw it, and he went out.
Mark Smith's such a weird ref lately. I don't know what's going on. He stops fights too late, in my opinion. He could have saved Sam with the punch. You could have just stopped it with the TKO punches. I'll give him that. He wanted to give Sam a fighting chance, but he missed the tap. That pissed me off, man. The refs, I hate when they miss the tap. I understand. Reffing is a really hard job, guys, but he had 2 chances to save Sam. He could have saved him with the TKO punches, and he could have saved him when he tapped out, and he didn't do either, Marcel.
He sees it. Don't seize the tap. Yeah, and Toyoni sees a tap when there is no tap. So that's beautiful, right?
Oh my God, we're gonna get Marcel talking about that fight with Trevin Jones, my boy, again.
I was talking about Pereira against Imam.
Oh my God! I think we all thought the guy was going to win the fight, but
true.
Daniel says, "I'll game back Yusuff's big." Oh, it's huge. Oh, Bornigan's here. He says, "More coach use close Big John Moro or Choice biased." So biased, like they must have a bet or something. I don't get it. Sam always says the fight. Yeah, exactly. That's true. The fight with I can't remember who it was now, but a bunch of the ones where he got TKO'd, he just started complaining. Even the Rogerio Nogueira one where he got like knocked out. He's like, "Come on, why'd you stop it?" So I'm with you. And you know what? He wasn't crying early, dude. He was crying after. I don't know if you saw the video. He was like tearing up, saying like, "Oh, this is God's plan. I'll be back." And I mean, I love this guy, man. I think Sam is one of the good guys in the game. I really do, Marcel. He's always been really gracious with his time to the media. He did an interview with Cole last week for the PJ Penn. Did a great interview. But one of the things that he talked about was how he had to cut from 230 to make 185. at age 35 or whatever he is now, that's insane. And I knew right away when he said that he's going to lose this fight. Like, there's just no way he was going to win. He did tag Marquez a little bit. Marquez gets tagged a bit too much for me. He wants to show off that chin, that beard, Marcel, right? By the way, do you think the beard helps absorb the punches? What do you think?
Of course, man. If you have a thick beard or a bigger beard, it definitely has some cushion in it. You know
I agree. Dude, I agree. Thinking Roy Nelson, not Kimbo Slice, not Kim. His chin was terrible, but Roy Nelson would be a perfect example, right? Like, so I was thinking, like, maybe this guy's a little bit extra padding. I think he's very good though, guys. Mackenzie Dern, we talked about a little bit, phenomenal. Again, I talked about, guys. We bet on her because of upside. That's why we all picked her in the chat last week. I think we all had Dern. I don't remember anyone saying. Or Nunes, I should say, not Ansaroff. They did change her name to Nina Nunes with UFC. I saw you posted about it like 2 days before the fight. Like, no one knew, right? Anyways, Dern 6-1 now, 4-0 in her last 4 fights. I think she actually might move past Rebus in the standings, even though she lost to her, just because she's been so hot. She's amazing. What do you think?
Honestly, she should, man. I'm a big fan of Amanda Ribas, but that fight is some times ago, and Dern has fought more times, and I think that they should place her around 6 or 7, and might match her up with Marina Rodriguez next. I think that's a fight to make, because I don't see probably Joanna's not going to take the Marina Rodriguez fight. So yeah,
I'm with you. I mean, that's the fight I was thinking about, because Marina obviously knocked out Ribas. Okay, so right now Dern is ranked 11, and then we have. Oh, sorry, I'll pull it up. Actually, this is pulled up. We can look at it together. We're gonna talk about that fight in a sec, Kevin. I love that fight. But this one, so we had. So she'd be number 5. I mean, she's gonna move into number 5 now, I think. Or maybe she'll move into 6, because Marina might move up just based on the fact. Yeah, that could happen too. I'm not against that happening, by the way. I mean, this girl is very good, and she's coming off a very good win against Amanda when she knocked her out, Rebus. And, bro, that fight with Carla Esparza was super close. Like, that fight could have went either way, guys, Carla's another fight, though, Marcel. Carla Esparza, she's fighting Yan, right? The winner of that, maybe. But actually, the winner probably gets a title shot, right? I would guess.
Should.
Yeah, so Joanna's there too. Joanna's the other fighter. She's number 2. If they want to be like, hey, Dern, you win this fight, you get the I think it's just too much, though.
Joanna should fight, man. I have the feeling she only wants to fight for.
She doesn't want to fight anymore. She even talked about it. She just has no motivation now. I'm not saying she's retired, but she just said, like, I don't need to fight. I'm very wealthy, and I'm enjoying my life right now. So unless she gets a number, I think she'll probably come back for a number contender fight. But yeah, I'm not saying she needs to retire. Joanna's amazing, but I'm just saying that fight was really. They both haven't fought in a year. I mean, that fight took a lot out of those girls. That was a brutal fight. That takes years off your life, man. It really does. Kevin, if Dern Rebus rematch, who would you favor? I don't know, because I watched the fight again the other weekend. Last week in preparation for this one, and Rebus's judo was amazing in that fight. Like, she was whipping her to the ground. So I'd probably have to favor Rebus, but Dern's made the improvements where it'd be hard to pick against her too. What do you think, Marcel?
Yeah, the thing is, Dern's strong point is her jiu-jitsu, and that's Reba's point as well, Yeah. So, and if it goes to the ground, we saw that Rebus could handle her on the ground. So, I mean, I would go with the same pick as well. Yeah.
Daniel says there's the loser of one of those big 115 fights. Yeah, that could work too. They'll find a fight for her. She's really good. Yeah, we'll talk about McDessie in a second. I absolutely love that fight. So, and then we'll just go to the first fight on the main card. Of course, I just closed my screen. Here we go. Daniel Rodriguez, another bet I made. I ended up betting on him. I had to. He's the better fighter, guys. I'm telling you. Man, it pays off watching those fights in Kobachi and stuff where I saw how well-rounded this guy is. And his southpaw stance really helps him. He's very good from the southpaw stance. I think this guy's really good. I think he's so underrated. I don't know what you think, Marcel, but I think he's awesome.
Do you remember that kick when we were on those mushrooms?
Dude, when Joe Schilling said that, by the way, he's trained with Joe Schilling, and Nick Diaz was in their camp too at the Yard Muay Thai. There's a picture of him and Nick Diaz that were doing training. So, I mean, you saw he's just so much better a fighter, guys. Like, he is really, really good. Do not sleep on him. Mike Perry, I think it's it, man. He's lost 4 or 5. He's out there on Twitter saying, like, I don't have it anymore. What happened to the guy I used to be? He's mentally defeated. I think they might give him one more because he's popular, but I don't know if he wins another fight in the UFC at this point. Like, yes, he probably beats a Mickey Gall type of guy, but a guy with striking like this, there was no way he was ever going to win this fight, Marcel.
I gave him Chaos Williams.
That Mike Perry was. I mean, you could, right? Chaos is coming off a loss to Pereira.
Yeah, right? Against Michel Pereira. Yeah.
You could do that fight. I mean, the other thing would be like someone like a Diego Sanchez, just to get him a win. But
Nico Price,
that'd be a fun fight. That would be a good fight. Okay, so there's another fight for him. I just don't know if he can win it. I think he's very slow now in the cage. He's getting beaten to the punch, Marcel. That I talked about it, guys. That fight with Vicente Luque where he gets face smashed. Once again, his face was broken in this fight, Marcel. He's not going to fight again for probably another year now. I mean, I think it could be it I honestly think it could be it. They'll probably give him one more because he's popular. But if it was anyone else, he'd be cut. What do you think?
I think so too. Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah. Dude, that fight was really close. Watching it back. So originally I did score for Dolby, but watching it back, I could definitely see the argument to D-Rod. He could easily be 5-0. I'm with you. Perry's just watching it get bare knuckle next. He's been okay. Let's give him some credit. He lost to Tim Means. He lost to D-Rod. He lost to Neil and Luque. We got to give him some credit, right? But his last win was gone. The win before that was Cowboy Oliveira. Another guy who's like kind of on the decline. He does have good wins. I mean, Paul Felder's a good win too. But again, it's not about your previous wins and losses. It's about what you're doing now. And he's right. Perry and Nico, they're not going to fight. He's right. As much as I would like to see that fight, they're training partners.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's just go through the rest of the prelims. We've got 20 minutes left here. Joe Solecki, Jim Miller. I mean, I thought maybe Jim might get submitted, but this fight went how I expected. I had a parlay of Solecki and Gamrot. They both won easily. Gamrot won by knockout over Scott Holtzman. Give me your thoughts on both Solecki and Gamrot.
I mean, Gamrot looked good, solid, knocked Holtzman out, looked like a contender soon in the division, in my opinion. Really good, as we expected. Joe Solecki did look well in the second and third round. He pulled guard for some reason in the first round, and he lost that round, in my opinion. And I was like, why did he do that? But you saw after the second round, he was much better than Jim Miller, and we all know the third round would be the same. So I had a stupid pick with Jim Miller. So, I mean, Solecki did well. Deserved win. Good win for him as well.
This is just one where, like, if you, like, watching the fights, like, recently, I just saw Jim get out-wrestled by Vince Pichel, a stronger guy, and that's why I think Solecki was. So, I mean, it's a good win, but you know what, man? Like, it was kind of a boring fight. They kind of, like, laid each other's guard, Marcel. They weren't trying for submissions. It wasn't a great fight. I think that Solecki has a lot of respect for Jim, and Jim's just kind of, like, on his last legs right now. Matthias Gamrot over Scott Holtzman. Scott Holtzman, man, I think his chin obviously now is a question mark. Back-to-back DACA losses. But Gamrot's the real deal. Like I said, guys, had he won that last fight, he'd be, 19-0 right now, Marcel? Right?
Yeah, it would be. It would be undefeated at least. So I don't know the 19, maybe 15 or 16 now. But
I thought he was 17-1. Let me double check. Matthias Gamrot, he's 18-1. Yes, he'd be 19-1. 19-0. 19-0. Yeah, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. We'll never get him at this number again. I don't think at minus 200. He's going to be like a big favorite, I think, his next time out. It doesn't matter who he's going to fight. He's a beast. Okay, next up, let's start with this fight. So, John Makdessi, Ignacio Bahamondes. You guys saw my tweets on this one. I didn't get on screen for this one, because I love this fight. This is one of those fights where I just remember why I love this sport so much, man. What a fucking fight, guys. This fight was amazing. It just reminds you again why I love MMA, why we love this sport. These guys are so tough. They are such warriors. Man, I can't believe it went all 3 rounds. Like, you thought that this kid, Bahamondes, was going to get KO'd in the first round. You thought Makdessi might get KO'd sometimes. Their faces were just completely destroyed. My God, what a fight. John wins a split decision. It was a super close fight, guys. I have no problem with him getting the decision. I think the argument honestly could be made either way. I did lose on this bet. When he missed weight, that's what really should have threw me off because it looked like he struggled to make the weight. That's what worried me. But ultimately, that's not really why he lost the fight. He lost because John Makdessi is just underrated and good at striking. That's why he lost the fight. I don't think it was because of that extra weight. So, you know what? This is one I didn't have a good read on, I guess. I thought Ignacio was going to pass this test, but John Makdessi won. I think it's really sad he didn't get a bonus. I mean, this obviously was fight of the night, but didn't get it because this kid missed weight. I hope they give him something in the mail, Marcel, locker room bonus. John Makdessi deserves a bonus for this performance. What do you think? I thought he should have got $100,000 for himself fight of the night. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Definitely. I think if you can give Bahamondes something and you don't want to give him $100K, they could have done 4 performance of the night bonuses, right? Yeah. And I mean, why not? And I definitely think it was fight of the night. It sucks that a guy is overweight by 0.7 or something.
Ridiculous. And that means they don't both win $150,000? That's terrible. Yeah. Come on.
That sucks, man, because you already got punished by getting an amount of your purse, I think. So,
Yep.
Yeah, great fight. Like you said, should have been fight of the night, 100% in my
Amazing
opinion.
fight.
Yeah, great fight. And I did, like I said, man, in the last podcast, man, John McDessie can pull it off. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
But I went with Bahamondes. But yeah, okay, it happens. Who did you went with?
No, I went Bahamondes. I think, like, you guys read my article. I mean, you heard me talk about it anyways. And the argument was there. I mean, he's a taller guy, the longer guy, the younger guy. Like, all those things usually do end up in a win. It was a close fight, but John McDessie's just really good. And like I said last week, what worried me was he's made a career of beating these guys like Shane Campbell and Darren Cruikshank, and everyone said would beat him in a striking battle. He ends up beating them, Marcel. He's very good at he's just very good at striking. So yeah. I mean, in hindsight, it's always easy in hindsight to be like, but this is one I think I should reel back the reins a little bit, especially because he was like 2-1 odds. And I usually don't go there. I usually stick to like -150 or under. But I went a little bit higher on for this fight and out of my range, and it ended up costing me. So I got to reconsider that going forward. And I'm just, by the way, looking at their Instagrams. I mean, McDessie doesn't have much posted. Ignacio's eating some pizza, man. His face is completely busted up. Poor guy. But yeah, I mean, he's a warrior. Okay, let's talk about this first, and then we'll get to the rest of the fights. You talk about the girl missing weight. Nora Duma by 5 pounds. I think it was 3.5 pounds or 4.5 pounds. She was 139.5. Blanchfield lucked out. I love how you took her. You made a comment to her manager on Twitter, Kevin, because you're right. So we talked about last week. This was a horrible matchup for this girl. She was Marcel. This girl was going to be like 20 or 30 pounds heavier than her in the cage.
Yeah,
Like,
listen, guys. I told Adam with a DM like, dude, I'm probably the only one, but I'm happy the fight is off. And it's not because I don't want to see the fight, but it's because the weight difference would be crazy, with somebody who goes overweight at almost 140 pounds. Blanchfield taking this fight on short notice was originally at 125. So normally it's already a 10-pound gap. Now it's a 15-pound gap. And imagine how big the gap would have been on fight night. So,
bro, it would have been probably 20 pounds, like I'm guessing, because 139, and then you'd have to imagine she's cutting from like 155, 160, right? I would guess. Blanchfield, I don't think cut weight at all, right? So maybe it was a 30 to 40 pound difference. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I'm guessing it'd be at least 20 to 30 pounds, though. That seems reasonable to say. I'm telling you guys, that's what would have happened. That's what I said last week. I'm like, yeah, Blanchfield's talented, like Marcel said, but the size, there's a point, guys, where there's skill. If it's two fighters that are evenly matched in size and one has more skill, the skill fighter usually wins. But like, if they're both similarly skilled and one is bigger, that bigger fighter will have an advantage, So, anyways, that's what I'm trying to say there. Couple other fights here, Marcel. Georgia State. We gotta talk about it. I know this guy. He goes. Marcel sends me a DM as soon as Danho landed the punch. He goes, "I don't want to talk about this fight on Monday." I was like, "We have to talk about it, bro." So obviously we got our pick wrong. But I was smart enough to at least lay off the Castro because he's not that good. I mean, he really isn't that great. Like, he had a good win in the Contender Series, great, in Tafa, but he's not that great. And Danho, 5 years away. I mean, that's just a spot where you don't want anything to do with guys in general. So it's a learning experience for anyone who did bet on it, I think. Just in that kind of spot where, yeah, he's had a long layoff, but at heavyweight, like, it's just so random. One punch can end the fight, Marcel? And that's what happened here. He landed a massive punch. I thought he should have got a bonus too. I don't understand why Sam Alvey got a bonus. Why did Sam Alvey get a bonus? How was that fight of the night? I don't get it. What do you think of this guy, though? Danho, tell me more.
Yeah, I still think the same, but I agree with you. He should have got a bonus. He deserved it. He had a great knockout against the Castro. But let's see. Let's hope he returns quicker than 5 years this time in the second fight, and let's see what he can do against better competition, man.
Yeah,
but it was a good knockout. All credits to him.
What's next? I mean, maybe the winner of Dan Hardy to Vesa, or someone lower ranked.
Maybe Rafael Pessoa. Or maybe look at Rodrigo Nascimento.
We're gonna find a fight for him, okay, guys? Let's go through it together. We're gonna pull up the list of UFC fighters. And
who's Rodrigo Nascimento fighting? He's also matched up with somebody.
So we're just gonna go to guys that have Endeavor records of 0-2, the worst guys in the roster. That's what we're doing for this guy. I mean, Philippe. He's fighting Ben Roth. Okay, so who's not paired? Pessoa. That's the one guy. 1-2.
Yeah.
And he is Jarvis down 1-1-1. And also Parker Porter got hurt. Maybe if he gets better soon, maybe those guys will fight. That could be a good fight. And yeah, I guess the winner of Felipe and Collier too, but I guess that the winner would probably get a bigger fight, I would guess.
Or the winner of
Chase Sherman and Arlovsky, yeah.
The winner of Rodrigo Nascimento against Alan Bordeaux.
Or that one works too. I mean, any of these guys. Todd Duffy's on the roster? Wow, that surprises me. That surprises me. Do you have a fight book recently?
Yeah, he's fighting John Villante the whole damn time. No, just kidding. I know.
He has a fight. Oh, yeah, since the eye poke fight, remember? That was people thought he was just going to be like released after that. Anyways, someone like that. Yeah, someone like that, guys. Marcel just said, yeah, he said Daniels was a bonus. He does. Oh, Tafa and Daniels, sure. Any of those guys. Okay, a couple other fights.
Tafa's book, right? Tafa's book against Vanderlei.
Yeah, that fight, the loser gets cut. The loser gets cut. Okay, just a couple of fights left, Marcel. Oh, by the way, you could do I think they might cut DeCastro, but you could do him versus Harry Hunsucker. That's another guy. You just maybe the winner you could do that fight. Okay, 4 fights left. Jack Shore defeats Hector Azure split decision. I bet on Jack Shore too. I played him straight here. It was like minus 175. It was an okay line. I mean, I knew it was going to be a bit of a sweat. I knew it. Just based on the style matchup, but ultimately I thought he won the fight. I just think all 3 of the judges scored it wrong. I thought it was 29-28. They all actually scored it wrong.
Oh, 2 30-27s and 1 29-28 for the other guy.
What was the round that Azure won? The first round or second round? I can't remember now. What was it?
I think I had him the second round, but I'm not.
It was one of those 2, and then the last round went to Shore. Shore deserved to win. I just think the scorecards were kind of bad. But yeah, he's good. I mean, he's 13-0 now as a pro, 13-0 as an amateur, and he's incredible, Marcel. Sorry, 14-0 now. He's really good, guys. And he gets every fight to the ground. Luis Saldana versus Jordan Griffin. I got to get your thoughts on this one. Okay, so this is actually just like the Dan Moret fight with Malmochi. Very similar because without a knockdown, though. I will say that. There was no knockdown. Saldana landed some really good kicks and stuff at the beginning of the round. At the end of the round, he got taken down twice by Griffin. I knew it was going to be close. I ended up scoring it for Griffin 29-28, but I don't think it's a robbery. What do you think?
I think it was a bad decision. I'm not going to say it's a robbery. It was a bad decision. 29-28 should have been for Griffin. I was shocked that all 3 judges had it for Saldana. I expected 100% to have one judge something else, and maybe it would have gone to a split or something,
Yeah.
But I had it for Griffin 29-28. It sucks for Griffin, man. He's 1-4 now in the UFC, I think. So he might be on the chopping block. Yeah,
for sure. Tough one, man. I mean, I thought he won, but Griffin hurt Saldana for a knockdown and watch one. I don't think there was a knockdown. I was talking about the Dan Moret fight had a knockdown, right? That's why I think it could swing around. But the guy, he had some good kicks. I mean, I don't think it was a horrible decision. I thought Griffin won, though. I will say that. I did score for Griffin, but I thought it was close. Now, this fight wasn't close. This was my other bet in the night. Darren Jung, I told you guys. I had to keep my read. Everyone always, William Knight, Big Willie, he's so strong. It's not a bodybuilding contest, guys. It's MMA. It's an MMA fight. And again, what I saw with Jung, his grappling is very good. We saw that in the Kadisi Bergimov fight. It bailed him out of that fight. He just went to it in this fight. His striking defense is a worry. I'm very worried about him fighting another striker. Like we saw against Sam Alvey, he got hurt. I'm very worried if he fights someone, I'm just going to look at the rankings quickly for 205. Like, if he fought a Yuri Prochazka, Yuri Prochazka, I don't think he'd fight someone that high, but a Magomed Ankalaev, those are scary fights for this guy. Jamal Hill, that's kind of a scary fight, right? But I think he beats these other guys, some of them.
I honestly don't know listen, man, I love Anik, but what he was saying, like, this guy gets a number next to his name on Monday. He's not going to surpass Craig or Jamal Hill in the rankings at this moment by winning against William Knight.
Yeah, no, for sure. Get these comments. Well done. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's tough when there's so much noise the other way. It scares me all the time. I'm like, oh, man, what am I not seeing here? But this one, I did my homework on this one. I felt good about this one. Watching his fights back, you could see the grappling. It was very good. And the size, the weigh-in told the story in this one. Marcel, did you see how big he was? He was
man, that shocked me.
Bro,
I wanted to sway my pick, but my ground rules never change.
That's fine. I think you should stick to your ground rules for sure. I just think this guy should make a move to 185. Cut some muscle out, use the muscle, and he's just too small for this division, Marcel.
Yes.
Never see, dude. It was massive. The only other fight I could think of was that Bea Malecki fight where she fought that girl, Veronica Macedo. I think there was like five. There's like not a foot difference, but and then we've seen Stefan Struve's fights too. Stuck to my Mark Hunt versus Struve. I stuck to my guns on night. Yeah, it happens, man. I mean, listen, dude. There's going to be some picks where I make bad next week. I'm like, why did I make that pick? But that was one I actually did my research and I really liked Jung. The last fight, Impa Kasanganay defeats Sasha Planica. I mean, we all thought that was going to happen. face some adversity in that first round. I mean, I think a lot of us were kind of sweating it a little bit, thinking maybe this guy's going to, maybe knock him out if the weight cut goes bad or something. But yeah, I mean, Impa is great. He called out Daniel Rodriguez after. That's a great fight. I would watch that fight. What do you think?
Yeah, good showing by Impa. Good finish. Happy for him, man. After that highlight reel knockout he got against Joaquin Buckley, it's always good to come back and show you're still there in another weight class. So really good, man. Congrats to him. And he's also at Sanford right now. So yeah.
Yeah. And I know exactly. Honestly, when I heard him say that last week in an interview, he said, "I'm at Stanford and the weight cut's going great." I'm like, all right, I have to pick this guy. I didn't bet him. He's on my range, but I could have in hindsight. I just had some hesitation because Sasha won his first fight as an underdog. I didn't want to lay 3-1 on a guy and then have that happen again. That would hurt, if that happened. You'd be like, damn it. But again, the matchup was good for him. We got 4 minutes left. We can take a few more questions, guys, if you want to throw them out there. Marcel, was there anything else that's grinding your gears that you wanted to discuss? What about this guy Jimmy Flick retiring? That surprised me.
Yeah, kind of surprised. They, by the way, found an opponent already. JP Bice will fight Francisco Figueiredo now.
Yeah, but, we're going to bet on Francisco Figueiredo, I think, guys. We're going to bet against JP Bice. That guy does not want to fight. What are you going to say?
Okay. Yeah, well, it was surprising, man. I mean, I didn't see that one coming. Kind of sucks as well because I really like Jimmy Flick. But hey, if he is not in it anymore, be honest to yourself, and he did that, and I can respect that.
By the way, Adrian Yanez says, I heard a fight is rumored to be off of 262. Get me my phone line's open. I don't know why they didn't put him on that card. Okay, this is going to be the last question we take for the day because it'll take us a minute to talk about it, and then that's it. Any thoughts on Rose's anti-China comments? Yeah, I mean, I saw the comments, guys. And then, I am. Yeah, after that last performance, I have to. Any thoughts on Rose's anti-China comments? Yeah. I hate when they bring up politics and nationalities, and it kind of surprised me because Wheelie was saying some really nice things about Rose recently. Like she was, Mike Tyson had said that she was going to get smoked or something by her. Like he said that she's going to get smashed or destroyed or something. And Whaley said, I really like Rose and I respect her and it's going to be a good fight. I don't like the comments. And then Rose comes out here with this and the interview is so weird. Like that guy it's interviewing her, he's so awkward in the interview, Marcel. He's like, what is she saying? Man, I don't know. What's your thoughts on this? It was kind of bizarre, actually.
Kind of weird. I saw it last night or the day before. I don't know what to think about it, to be honest, man. I'm not really pointing fingers or whatever thing with people when I'm giving comments about politics, about COVID, about whatever. I'm not going really into that because I think. Should be about the sport, and people hate that when I say that all the time because I got a lot of shit for that last time on Twitter when I said that. But I mean, I'm not going to be involved in this kind of stuff. It's not my business, in my opinion, and I just want to see the fights. It's whatever to me, man. Is it a good comment? Probably not, but I'm not bothered with it. But it's probably not good to say such a thing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. All right, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Again, thanks for joining us. It was a good show. We'll be back tomorrow. Marcel's going to join me 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be previewing UFC Vegas 24. Is that what they're going to call it, Marcel? UFC Vegas 24?
Yeah. Okay. Or UFC on ESPN 22.
I used to do that, and it got so confusing. I'm just sticking with the Vegas thing now, whatever the hashtag is. Well, what I was going to say. And then next week, we're going to have fans back, which is going to be insane. So we'll talk about that card next week's insane. I can't wait to talk about that card. But you have to get through next week's card or this week's card. That's tomorrow. So I'll be doing my studying tonight, guys. I'm going to bust my tail into the research, and I'll give you guys some picks tomorrow, hopefully some good ones, and Marcel will too. So that's it for today. Marcel, plug your stuff, man.
MMA DNA.nl, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want to look. And my personal accounts are BigMarcel24 on Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome, man. And you guys can find me on Twitter at MMAOB, as you all probably follow me already. Smash that subscribe button, the like button. BJPenn.com, MMAOddsbigger.com. Where else? Elite Fantasy, Elite Betting. I know my boss liked those picks the other day too, because what's funny, Marcel? The handicapping thing, obviously I've been doing it forever, but now I have to have my record tracked, and it's I was down 4 units to start with the first 2 events, and I was so nervous. I'm like, I can't do. I'm not cut out for this. Since then I think I'm up 10 units. So I mean, you could tell, guys, I put the research in, so it's paying off, and I'm feeling better about that. It gives me more confidence you know, and all you guys coming here I love. So anyways, that's all I was going to say. Marcel will be here with me tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Peace.